Welcome to day 441 of our DSO journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein, here with my twin brother Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by NFT Tech. They are an investor in DSOFi. So Brian, more Elon Musk drama, I guess you could say, over the last few days. What do you make of all this? Like, what do you think's going on here?
Yeah, so I don't know. I think he's actually just wanting you back out. I don't know if he's looking for a better deal. I kind of get the feeling that he's just maybe lost interest and maybe realizes it's not such a great idea. But now there's like this void left because you have Twitter, which is just continuing along the same kind of boring path where it's going to piss people off because certain people are being banned. You also have Truth Social, which is former President Trump's platform, which is actually under SEC investigation, as well as the federal investigation into some of the practices leading up to the merger with the SPAC. And that's kind of in limbo as well, because if that deal doesn't go through, then you're going to have that company not getting the funding that they originally were going to get. And you kind of saw this like this inner fighting between Elon and Trump yesterday. Trump was calling him names, saying that he's basically not an honest guy. And this is all happening when Elon was kind of getting political on Twitter as well. So I don't know. I think it's just like a mess right now within the social realm. And I don't think that either Twitter or Truth Social will be the social platform for the next 5 to 10 years. I don't think they're going to be the future of what social media will be. So it leaves this void, it leaves this gap, kind of this vacuum to be filled. And I think it positions Web3 right in the middle of that to take advantage of it. And DSO obviously is the leading social media blockchain, social blockchain out there, at least right now. And I think that it could be an opportunity, but it's tough to get the attention of the right people. It's been almost a year and a half now since DSO launched, maybe a year and a quarter. And I think hopefully it's time that maybe it gets some recognition that it deserves, especially as it keeps building.
Yeah, I agree. And speaking of the void, I think you also forgot to mention Jack Dorsey leaving Twitter and kind of formulating this Web5 social identity, which is kind of like it takes aspects from Web3 and Web2 and kind of intermingles them, I guess you could say. But he left Twitter, so it's like you said, I think like Twitter doesn't really have a good direction to go in, unless they maybe integrate with some sort of Web3 solution. But even that's going to be hard to do. Like, how do you integrate with Web3 when everybody has usernames already formed on the Twitter databases? How do you create a Web3 identity and link those together? I'm sure there's some solutions out there, but it's going to be hard. I think Elon, I think if he really wanted to conquer this problem, his best bet be to create his own platform and use Web3 for it, use existing blockchains, or even create his own blockchain in order to do so. Of course, I would lean toward adopting DSO as a blockchain for a new platform. But it's going to be interesting to see if he just abandons the whole idea of, trying to help social media break out of Web 2 and head into Web 3, or if he sticks to his guns and maybe just comes up with another idea or acquires another company. Who knows?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Web5 because Web5, Jack Dorsey and Block, they actually announced this last month, and they said that July 1st they'd be releasing the API, and I haven't seen anything released yet. And I've been searching, and I don't think Web5 is competition for Web3. I think it's a feature of Web3. I think it can work with Web3. I think Web5 is Web3.
Yeah, it's more like a bridge between Web 2 and Web 3. I don't know why they call it Web 5. I guess just to, well, their idea was adding 2 plus 3, Web 2 plus Web 3 equals Web 5. But it's more like Web 2.5, in my opinion.
Right, I agree. So also, I want to mention something. Ed Moss, who's Mossified on DSO, he revealed some interesting details about his hiring in a reply to a post that we made yesterday. I made a post basically telling users to tell us that they love DeSo without telling us that they love DeSo. So give us an example of why you love DeSo. And he was one of the people who replied, and he wrote uh, an interesting message. He said, I wrote this to Natter as a job application to hopefully join the core team back when BitClout launched. And this was back in April. I think he wrote this. The timing didn't work out. And my wife said she'd leave me if I joined. She thought it was a scam. And I told her it was a future. Long story short, I'm still married and I'm officially on the core team now. And he posted a link to this like 5-page Google document where he dissected everything that BitClout was doing, what could be improved upon, what he liked, and he sent that to Natter. So it's interesting to go back. If you go to the post, we were going to link to it. You'll see the document, and it's interesting to read. He had a lot of really good, insightful ideas, I think.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that his wife thought of BitClout was a scam, and there's all that talk about BitClout being a scam, but there was no real reason behind why people started calling it a scam. But it caught on so big that you'd mention BitClout to someone and be like, "Oh, that's a scam," but there was no basis for calling it a scam. So I think that's kind of funny that he mentioned that.
Yeah, back in the day, it was just you couldn't actually cash it out. So I think that was one of the
Yeah.
underlying reasons why people called it a scam. But of course, now you can.
Yeah, you couldn't cash it out, and they took usernames of celebrities and allowed you to buy their coin. So I think those are the two things that got people calling it a scam. Although there's no evidence that it was a scam. Obviously, it wasn't a scam now that you look back on it. But moving on, NFTz had some updates yesterday and this morning. I'm excited about these. New 3D logo. There's a new NFTz 3D logo. You can see that on the upper left side of the website. We decided we're going to create a 3D logo since we're going to be doing a whole lot of stuff with 3D NFTs and the mini metaverses and all kinds of stuff like that. We were super excited about this, the upcoming ideas we have, and what's in the pipeline. But other than that, you can now view the most viewed NFTs on nftz.me. If you just go to the homepage, you'll see a section that says most viewed, and it's going to show the 6 most viewed NFTs in the last 24 hours. It's updated every 5 minutes. And these are only NFTs that are viewed on the NFTz node. So if you're viewing them on Diamond App or Supernovas or D Social World, they won't count toward the stats here. Right now, the 6 most viewed NFTs over the last 24 hours are 3 Unicat NFTs, a Mini Cloud NFT, a Priana Check NFT, and a D Whales NFT. Also, you can view how many times an NFT has been viewed. If you just go to that NFT and you look to the right-hand side of the image where you're going to see likes, diamonds, comments, reposts, you're also going to see an eyeball, and the number right above that eyeball is how many times that NFT has been viewed. And this doesn't include reload, so you can't just go there and keep reloading in order to increase the number of views. It's only logs you one time, and the NFT must have at least 2 views for a number to show there. So we're excited about this. So now the front page of NFTz has the highest bids slash offers in the last 24 hours, the top sales in the last 24 hours, and the most viewed in the last 24 hours, along with our 3D showcase and new NFTs and the normal feed. So we're excited about what we've been adding. M. Van Halen has been working super hard on these changes.
Yeah, I think we had a quiet period there for the last like month and a half, 2 months, but things are really starting to come together. And this is just a start of a wave of a lot of really cool features and additions we're going to be adding here in the rest of the year, the rest of 2022.
Yeah, for sure. Keep an eye out for MetaMask too coming soon. So moving on, Story announced that they have plans to submit their app to the App Store next week, and they're doing the submission ahead of the beta launch. It's going to be interesting to see how long it takes for the app to be approved, but I assume that once it's approved, they'll probably quickly move into their beta launch and could see a Story app in the next couple of weeks, Brian.
Finally, I can't wait. I've been anticipating this for so many months, and I just really can't wait to see it. I know my wife too. She's really excited about this one.
Yeah, and Ribal and the Design Star sisters have been doing a tremendous job developing this app. We've seen sneak peeks and teases from the Design Star sisters over the last several months, and the app looks really cool. It kind of brings Snapchat and Instagram into the Web3 world, but includes some interesting things that you can't do in the traditional Web2 world. So
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. Go ahead, Brian.
and it's funny because this morning I made a post and I said that like in order for a project to really succeed uh, on building on DSO, they really need to not copy the Web 2 world, but do things that you can't do within the Web 2 world, and then innovate and come up with an innovative, great idea. And I think that's exactly how you would explain story, at least in this, from what we've seen from these early examples that they've been showing us.
Exactly. I don't think just saying, oh, I have a Web3 version of Twitter or a Web3 version of Instagram or a Web3 version of TikTok is enough of a selling point to bring the mainstream users of those apps over to Web3. Because most people, they talk a lot about deplatforming, they talk a lot about other platforms owning your content. But when it comes down to it, what drives them the most is their followers and the number of followers they can get. So I think you need something that's new, something that's innovative, something that can bring people over to become the OGs of that new platform in order to build their following up from the ground up. If these social influencers see a new platform as potentially being the next big thing, they're going to want to be in on the ground floor, because if they're in on the ground floor, they're going to end up being the ones who develop the greatest following, the greatest follower graph. So that's a great point, Brian. And moving on, I want to say congratulations to ZN Mead, who has officially been verified on DeFi. Ziamid's an OG of DSO. He's been here from the start. Just want to say congratulations. The whole verification thing's kind of stinks because so many other people deserve to be verified who have not.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like opening up a can of worms. Once you verify somebody, then all these other people who deserve to be verified start asking,
Yeah.
"Hey, why aren't I verified?" So I don't know what the best solution is here. I know there's so many people out there who should be verified who are not, such as Clout Women Unite, Gabby. Uh, I Miss Katie Ann, is she verified?
I
I
don't
don't
think
even know,
so.
but if she isn't, she deserves to be. There's so many people who deserve to have a verified check mark, but at the same time, I think the core team's working on other important things that they want to get done, and verification. I think you need like a whole team of
Yeah.
individuals to actually run a verification department. So hopefully, a solution comes out. I know they talked about verification by associations. I thought that was supposed to be out first quarter of this year. Evidently, it's not. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's definitely something that they need to work on just because I think when people join a platform, they want to be able to understand why are these people verified, why aren't these people verified. It's important to have a method to the madness, I think, and allow people to understand what that check mark actually means.
Yeah, exactly. GD Virtual Galleries, GDS verified, has some more news. It seems like he's releasing news every few days now. And his new news, as it pertains to GD Virtual Galleries, is that now if you are a Shopify user or business owner, you can link and import your products inside the upcoming GD Virtual stores. Users are going to be able to turn their Web 2 2D Shopify stores into a 3D virtual environment that features NFTs, AR, fitting boxes. So, if you want to try on sunglasses, try on a hat, you're going to be able to do that, which I think is what a Web3 online environment needs. And I think that's what's going to allow these environments to fully take off, because so many people buy clothes on Amazon or buy clothes on, American Eagle or any other of your favorite brands out there, and you buy this clothing, but you get it and it doesn't fit because you don't know if their sizes are going to be the right size that fits you. So you end up sending them back, and it's a waste of time. But if you can actually try the clothing on in a 3D virtual world, imagine what that means. It means you can order it knowing it's going to fit, order clothes for your relatives knowing they're going to fit if they try it on through the app. And I think it solves a lot of problems. So again, GD Virtual Galleries, Gabriel GDS, he's at the forefront of this, and I love how he's open to so much. He's testing the waters in so many different avenues where I think he's gonna find at least a couple that really explode. So congratulations.
Yeah, and I think that like normally like advising a business, I would say don't stretch yourself too thin. Don't go in all these different directions. But we're so early in the Web3 slash metaverse slash blockchain space that and I don't think it costs a whole lot to go in different directions. I think it might be smart to just try out all these different areas, and then since it's not really stretching you too thin, it's not costing you really too much money. You're just forming partnerships and stuff. I think it makes sense. And maybe some of these ideas won't work out. Maybe they will be too cost prohibitive. But the ones that do, you're going to be at the forefront. You're going to be leading the way, and you're going to be in early and being able to innovate and kind of get a head start from the rest of the companies that are trying to do similar things. So I love what GDS is doing. He's a visionary, definitely with this metaverse stuff and what he's doing with blockchain metaverse technology. I think it's just amazing.
Yeah, ultimately he'll probably find one or two or three subcategories, niches that really work for him, and he'll probably go in that direction.
Yeah, so I want to quickly get to the top most bids for NFTs by username over the last 24 hours, according to NFTz. And number one, who do you think it's going to be?
Meta philosopher.
Meta Philosopher. He's been up there consistently in the top 10 for the last probably 4 weeks now. Meta Philosopher is followed by Just in Time, Kevin Sod, Niku, Scrutinize, Furkan, Studio Richards. I can never say this name, but I'm going to say it because I have it written down. Chermislav Digdong. I hope I got that right.
So let me ask
Followed
you. So
by
this question,
BitClout.
this wait, hold on a second. So this name starts with a
Yep.
PRZEMY, and you're saying that
Chermislav.
it starts with a
Chermislav.
Chermislav, like CH.
Yep.
That's
Chermislav.
that's incredible. I never knew that a PRZ could make a CH sound.
I guess you learn something new every day. Maybe I'm totally inaccurate. I used Google Translate to tell me, and that's how it said. But Chermislav Digdong, maybe you can reply and see if I got it right this time. I have it written in my notepad, and I just bring my notepad up every time your name comes up. Sometimes I forget and I don't have the document open. But after Chermislav was BitCloud FR and DAO Bank. So congrats to all of those users, top bidders, are keeping the NFT space on DeSo alive in a big way. Also, I want to get the top diamond creators over the last 24 hours, according to Altumbase. And they are Michelle Lord. Great to see Michelle up there above us. We were second, followed by Gabby, William Laurent, Meta Philosopher, Manrek Photo, Mashalin, Effed Up Cats, Now and Then, and Mubs. So congrats to all of those people. It's great to see some of these OGs up there like William Laurent, Gabby, Michelle, Mashalin. Just great to see, and Mubs, of course, to see these people earning diamonds because they really do deserve them.
Yeah, congratulations to all of you, and I think that's all the news we have for today. Everybody have a great rest of your weekend, and we will talk to you tomorrow.